Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, President Rodrigo Duterte eyes closing down Philippine borders amid the Delta variant threat. The Health Department confirms local transmission of the highly transmissible Delta COVID-19 variant. What are the plans of Metro Manila mayors to get ahead of the dreaded variant driving COVID-19 surges worldwide? Metro Manila Development Authority Chairman Benhur Abalos joins us live. And later, OCTA Research Group fears COVID cases may reach as high as 10,000 daily cases. OCTA Research Fellow Professor Guido tells us more live. President Rodrigo Duterte tells CNN Philippines in an exclusive interview that the country's borders may be closed down if the COVID-19 cases further escalates. The chief executive is also calling for an emergency meeting with the interagency task force and health experts this weekend to address the threat of the Delta variant. On Thursday, the health department says 12 new Delta variant cases have been detected in Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and Metro Manila. This brings the total number of Delta variant cases to 47. The DOH also confirms there is now local transmission of the Delta variant in the country. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos. Chairman Abalos, welcome again to the source. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Good morning, Pinky, at maraming salamat din sa lahat po ng mga nanonood. Magandang umaga po.
Let's start, sir, with a meeting of the IATF and the Metro Manila mayors that happened yesterday. Sir, ano po yung napag-usapan at ano po yung naresolba?
Well, Pinky, nung bago pa man magkaroon ng Delta variant, nagkaroon ng polisiya na 5-year-old ay pwedeng payagan lumabas. No? Pero nung nalaman namin about 3 days ago na meron ng 2 kaso sa Metro Manila, 2 pa lang at wala pang confirm na local transmission. Doon pa lang ay nagpasya kami. We've decided that we will have to suspend this 5-year-old policy. No? That's why we submitted this to the IATF. And last night it was discussed, but I'm not at liberty to right now to divulge about this. Pero inaksyon na naman kaagad itong request ng mga alkalde ng Kalakang, Maynila ng IATF.
To be clear, Chairman, pinapayagan pa rin ho kasi, hindi ho ba, yung 5 years old and up. Pero nag-usap po mga Metro Manila mayors at sabi nila, sandali lang, parang this is not the right time. So ang ginawa po ng ninyo at ng Metro Manila mayors, in-elevate niyo po ito sa IATF kahapon. Tama po?
Yes, ginawa namin yun, Pinky, kasi number 1, wala pang bakuna ang mga bata. Number 2, they could be super spreaders. Number 3, napakabilis ng hawakan ito. The Delta is the R0 is 1 for every 5 to 8, no? Compared to the UK or even South Africa na 1:4 lang. So because of this, sabi namin, teka muna, wag muna until mahanap nyo kung talagang locally transmitted. So kagabi po ay itong posisyon ng mga mayors ay binigay sa IATF and it was acted upon. I-announce na lang po mamaya ni spokesperson kung ano yung desisyon.
I know we have to wait for that, no, Chairman. But let's put this into context. Nung nag-usap po kayo kahapon, wala pa pong announcement ang DOH na meron ng local transmission. Di ho ba?
Yes, actually, kahapon ko lang nalaman na namin during the meeting of IATF na yung news nyo ngayon na 27 na ang nasa bansa. No? Kahapon lang po nalaman na hindi po namin alam na gano'n na may locally transmitted na talaga. Kaya nga mamaya makikita nyo naman na may action naman ang ginawa ang IATF dito. I-announce po mamaya po ni Spoksari. Bukod po ito doon sa policy ng 5-year-old. No? May mga additional actions na ginawa po ang ating gobyerno hinggil dito.
So, but I will take it, sir, I surmise that pumayag po, very receptive ang IATF sa gusto ng Metro Manila mayors na wag munang payagan si 5 and up.
Well, mahirap ng let Spokes Harry answer that, Pinky, no?
Okay.
Mahirap. But ako na masasabi ko sa mga nakikinig po ngayon, no? Ang importante po rito ay constant monitoring. Dapat na everyday, sa barangay ninyo, sa kalye ninyo, alamin niyo sino may sakit, i-report ka agad. Nang sa ganoon ay ma-contact trace ka agad. Sa ngayon po ay meron tayong 5,775 contact tracers sa buong metro. Ito'y sa DOLE, no? Inano po ni Secretary Bello, at nailakad po namin na extend na 2 months. This is for August and September, no? And aside from that, pagkatapos nating matrace, importante po sa lahat ay matest kaagad. We've got 20,000 testing dito po, no? At ito lang po ang pinapaalalahan ko. Yung isolation, bawal po sa bahay. Bawal sa bahay po ito, no? Kasi makakahawahan kayo sa bahay. Meron tayo mga isolation centers. We've got about 83 isolation centers sa mga LGUs. Ito yung mga schools and quarantine centers, no? And of course, 37 of these 46 ang ngayon ay may mga laman, at 37 to ay for emergency functional. Yes.
So, Chairman, ibig ho ba sabihin yan, kapag meron na na po kayo, suspect na po kayo, hindi na kayo papayagang mag-quarantine sa bahay? Tama ho ba yun?
Well, dapat, no? At ayun ang protocols talaga, Pinky, because we must remember that this is highly transmissible. Talaga makakahawa po kayo sa mga bahay ninyo. Huwag ho kayo mag-alala, no? Bukod sa sinabi kong 83 isolation centers, we also have hotels, no? Ito yung Opland Kalinga Hotels. We've got 9 hotels. At kung mamarapatin mo lang, Pinky, bibilisan ko lang ito para sa alam ng mga tao. This is Astrotel Novaliches, El Rancho Tunasan, Hotel 1001, Alabang, Nice Hotel Mandaluyong, Nice North EDSA, Spiral Novaliches, Luxant Hotel, Winter Benitez, and Winter Imperial. Bakit ko po sinasabi ito? Huwag kayong mag-alala, magaganda ang mga isolation na ito. No? Ang importante lang, huwag kayong makahalo sa mga kapamilya nyo sa bahay. Importante ma-isolate kagad kayo. At doon naman sa mga may simptomas, dadalhin naman po kayo dito sa tinatawag natin temporary treatment and monitoring. Ito po ay sa BRP ang Pangulo, PhilInvest, PICC, Ultra Philippine Sports, Bagong Layong Pilipino, Rizal Memorial, Eva Macapagal Super Terminal at Ninoy Aquino Stadium. No, so nakahanda po lahat ito, no, sa mga may simptomas at walang simptomas.
Okay, let's look into this, Chairman, para po hindi nakakalito. Dinesisyonan na po yan. Kapag ikaw ay suspect case, ano hong ibig sabihin? Kukunin na po kayo ng barangay at dadalhin sa quarantine facility?
Yes, kung ganito po, no, kung ang gagawin po ay ititrace po muna, no, yung mga nakausap. At yung mga nakausap na yun, pagkatapos ma-trace po ito, sila po ngayon ay titignan kung sila ba ay may itetest sila. So habang tinetest sila, kung mag-positive sila, dalawa po yan. Isang may simptomas, isang walang simptomas. Hindi na ho pwede sa bahay. So yung mga walang simptomas, yung sinabi ko kanina, mga quarantine centers, sa mga schools, no, at hindi lamang yun, kasama na rin po rito yung mga hotels, yung Opland Kalinga na pinapatakbo ng OCD. Kaya huwag kayo mag-alala, maingat po tayo. Importante po rito ay ma-isolate po kaagad kayo. As much as possible, within 24 hours, makuha po natin kagad yung mga nakausap at yung nakausap na nakausap. Importante po ito. And of course, aside from that, meron tayong mga massive testing, yung isolation po natin, at titignan po natin kung saan lugar ninyo ay, let's say, may clustering, mga 2, 3, 4. Papadala po tayo sa genome center niya, may mga protocols dyan, kung anong klaseng variant ito, at kung kinakailangan ila-lockdown po ang mga bahay, ang kalye, o even ang isang barangay. No? Gagawin po yan ng mga mayors ng Metro Manila. Of course, ang meals, ang pagkain sa tanghalian, gabi, ipiprovide po ito ng ating mga alkalde. No? So ito po yung nakaset up na po lahat ito. Ang importante rito ay huwag kayong mahiya kung meron kayong nakausap, mag-report po kaagad kayo, magsabi kaagad kayo, dahil importante po rito ay magkatulungan tayong lahat.
We'll be taking a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos. So during the break, I clarified again with Chairman, basta't positive, they are discouraging, basta't positive discouraging home quarantine. Kaya't kailangan dalhin na sa mga facility para mapigilan ang pagkalat. Okay, so we're clear on that. My next question about that, Chairman, are we sure or are you sure na na-reactivate lahat itong mga quarantine facilities? Because I am thinking that some of them, because siguro hindi po nagamit in the past week or months, ay hindi na ho siya operational. Are they all operational now?
Yes, I've got a list of all of this. We've checked this even before this news came about, no? And we made sure that they were checked. And as I've told you, of the 83 isolation centers, these are the schools and the quarantine facilities. 46 are being used right now, and 37 are functional, meaning they're just there waiting, just in case. No,
Okay.
we were expecting. Yes.
Yan po, nakahanda na po. Napag-usapan niyo ba, Chairman, kung ano ang worst case scenario with the Metro Manila mayors and the IATF?
Well, actually, ang importante talaga rito will be the hospitals and the oxygen supply. So since last week, we're checking on the hospitals right now kung kano nakadami ito, kung okay pa ba, no? But of course, even the oxygen supplies, we're getting inventories right now, just in case. Although mababa pa lang naman, no?
Any reports, sir, on the hospitals that are currently full?
Well, actually, if you're going to look at the report, like one in Taguig, no, let us remember that the borders of Metro Manila are porous. It does not mean just because that one hospital is full, it speaks for the whole city. No, it is kasi itong hospital na to magaling eh. So most of the patients are from all over Metro Manila. So ilang hospitals talaga medyo, I think baka si Mr. David has the data with him right now, or even DOH. But pero merong iba talaga medyo increasing in numbers.
Okay. Which hospital are you talking about? The one in Taguig too?
Well, I think St. Luke's, no? Magaling ang St. Luke's eh, kaya marami nagpupunta mga patients dito. So I think they've got an increase in patients.
Increase, no, but not full.
Pardon?
Sabi niyo po, Chairman, there's an increase, pero puno na ho ba o hindi?
I'm not so sure about the actual status right now. Pero what I was informed of yesterday, we were informed the increase talaga. Yes.
So classification ng Metro Manila, we are on regular GCQ. Sa aking pagkatanda, sir, ang huli natin ay GCQ with heightened restrictions. Ano po? Aakyat ho ba tayo ulit sa heightened GCQ or are we looking into an MECQ?
Well, let Spokes Harry answer that later. But what I'm telling you is that yesterday it was debated upon, it was discussed, and everyone was concerned, and proper actions will be put in place. Mamaya po i-announce po yan.
Pero napag-usapan din po social gatherings. Ano po?
Well, later, because later you would have to look at the quarantine status, the capacity, the mobility, etc. It was really discussed thoroughly yesterday. So ayoko lang pangunahan si Spokes Harry, pero i-announce siya po mamaya. And I'm sure isa lang masasabi ko rito that talaga nga IATF gumagalaw because everything is so fluid now, Pinky, no? Whatever that we see right now, and we monitor cases every day, expect na pwedeng magbago ito dahil every day binomonitor ito.
Pero okay, I understand, no, sir, that presidential spokesperson Harry Roque will make the announcement. But what I want to find out is, ano po yung recommendations ng Metro Manila mayors regarding the classification of Metro Manila? What do they prefer? Do they prefer to stick to where we are now, or do they want a tighter quarantine classification?
Well, actually, Pinky, no, nung umattend ako ng meeting, wala pa itong news about the local transmission. Wala pa itong added 12 cases. When I
Opo.
went to the meeting yesterday, news lang there were 2 cases in Metro Manila, and they're still trying to confirm if talaga may locally transmitted. But be it as it may, dito niyo makikita, very conservative ang mga mayors natin, very protective, very aware of how contagious this Delta variant is. Kaya nagpunta ako roon na sinasabi ko, we are for the meantime, isuspindi mo itong policy about the 5-year-old kasi nga delikado. No? Yun lang yung mga issue. It was only yesterday that I came to know na may mga bagong kaso. Yeah.
Okay,
So hindi
that
namin
might
alam.
change. Opo, late na po kasi nangyari to kagabi, Chairman, yung 12 new cases, tsaka yung local transmission. Yung local transmission, I believe, well, I found out about it sometime at 10 p.m. na ho ata or 9 p.m. Pero I just want to go back to that. I know you're saying that the Metro Manila mayors are very conservative. Rightly so, no? Because it's really, sila pong hands-on dito eh. Sila ang gatekeeper, sila pong mangunguna dito. Pero were they more comfortable to go to a stricter quarantine classification as of yesterday without the 12 Delta additional and without the local transmission?
Well, yes, Pinky. I would say personally, no, ako naman ay coordinator lamang dito. Pero from my experience being with them, we're towards there are 2 sides of the coin here. We've got the health experts and of course the economic team. We must balance everything. But right now, we must look at what's happening in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, all over the world. Iba talaga ito. So kung ano sinasabi ng health experts, kaagad uma-action po ang mga Metro Manila mayors.
And a lot can possibly change. Chairman, let me just add, because the president already told CNN Philippines that they're looking at possible closing of borders, and that there will be an emergency meeting this Saturday. So this is over and above. This is an added layer, an added meeting with health experts this Saturday.
Well, yes. Actually, for us, no, we should look at all of the good practices we have done before. One of which is what we call the NCR Plus. No, of course, the president is talking about the international borders here. Yan, malaking bagay dyan ang Bureau of Quarantine natin to make sure talagang wala makakatakas, wala makakapasok. Pero we're now talking here of local transmission here. No? If you will recall, when we have this South African variant and the UK variant in Pasay, it was very fast. It started from because they're the airport, kumalat na metro, nagpuntahang probinsya, kumalat na buong Pilipinas. If you will recall, 2 weeks, ang laki na spread. No? So kaya importante kumilos dito. That's why one of the best practices was having NCR plus 4. Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and Rizal, no? Nagkatulong-tulong to control our local borders naman. At siguro pwede ding tignan ito at pag-aralang maigi.
All right. Chairman Benhur Abalos, sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
You too, sir. Coming up, OCTA Research Group says Delta variant may be driving the increase in COVID-19 cases. We speak to OCTA Research Fellow Guido David after the break. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our guest today, OCTA Research Fellow, Professor Guido David. Professor, welcome back to The Source, and thank you also for your time. Let me start with this. The DOH already saying there's local transmission, and 12 more Delta cases were discovered yesterday. So what are your numbers? What are you seeing in terms of data and numbers? Let's start with NCR.
Yes, Pinky, it is concerning that we have local cases and local transmission of the Delta variant. Actually, first time in-announce nila na there's been a significant increase in the genome sequence Delta variant cases. Medyo concerned na tayo that local transmission seems imminent kung nakapasok na sa borders natin. So right now in the NCR, the reproduction number is already at 1.21, and there's an increase already in cases. In fact, we're averaging 850 cases per day in the NCR. Last week, average natin 613 lang. So that's a 1-week growth rate of 39%. So nag-increase siya 39% in 1 week. And this is actually, I mean, this is the start. And it's concerning kasi This is about in the range of the Delta variant. I mean, it's possible na hindi pa widespread yung transmission ng Delta variant, but it's possible meron ng local transmission talaga dito sa NCR, and it's contributing to the rise in cases. May mga LGUs which have a faster rise right now. Kasama dyan yung Manila sa NCR, which has a 56% 1 week increase in cases. Pero outside NCR, meron din mga other LGUs that are having also Valenzuela, another also 56% 1 week increase in cases.
That's right. I do understand. I have it here also. Yung pong nangyari sa Valenzuela, sabi po ni Senator Gatchalian, for the last 4 days, our positivity rates surged to 25% from a single-digit average of 8%. Sabi niya, we think Delta is already here. Government should once again suspend gatherings, celebrations, and public convergence to slow down the spread of the virus. So you talked about Manila, Professor. You also talk about Valenzuela. Any other, I just want to stick to NCR plus muna, any other cities here? So Manila, Valenzuela, significant rise. What else?
Yes, also significant rise, Caloocan din, 47% increase in cases. And then the others, well, Las Piñas, 39% increase, Taguig 31%. So iba a little lower, pero ito yung among the highest increase na nakita natin in terms of 1 week growth rate. The reproduction numbers dito medyo matataas na rin. Sa Valenzuela, it's 1.33. Sa Manila, it's 1.41. So these are significantly higher than 1. And in fact, yung cutoff natin for high risk is just 1.1. So they're above 1.1. Ibig sabihin, this means that the cases are really on an upward trend.
In fact, every time we talk about that, hindi ho ba what we are comfortable with, for lack of a better word, is what? 0.9 ho ba na are not?
Yes, below 0.9, Pinky. If it's between 0.9 and 1.1 kasi parang it's within 1 lang, so it's more or less 1. Pero pag less than 0.9, we're comfortable with that kasi that means it's really decreasing. It's showing a downward trend. Pero pag above 1.1, it's showing an upward trend.
So let's stress that, because from last I read, prior to speaking to you, the reproduction rate was at 1.15. Ngayon nasa 1.24, did you say, Professor? Apologies.
1.21.
21. Okay, so
yes.
Pataas na yan. There was also a prediction with OCTA, no, that yesterday you said that we could reach as high as 8,000 cases. What we recorded yesterday was about 5,850. But there's also talk na aabot po tayo, papalo po tayo muli sa 10,000.
Yes, and yung 8,000, it was actually in an interview, and it was a spur of the moment. I blurted out na sabi ko it's possible we might hit 8,000 this Wednesday's numbers because of Thursday's numbers because of the we were looking at patterns usually from Tuesdays to Wednesdays, so we based it on those patterns. Fortunately, hindi natin na hit yung 8,000. I mean, we're very happy about that. But yung 10,000, it's definitely possible within. I mean, still possible within the next few weeks if wala tayong gagawin. Yun naman yung ano dyan eh. It's not set in stone na we will hit 10,000. If we do actions naman, it means we can still prevent this. Lalo na this is in its early stages, and we map yung increase na reproduction number ngayon to last February, and it's comparable to February 13 to 19. Ibig sabihin, we saw the same kind of increase to reproduction number kasi last week it was 0.91. So we saw the same kind of increase to reproduction number as February 13 to 19. And that was just before that was when the surge was just starting. Very, very early stages ng surge natin. But we last February, we waited about 1 week, mga February 26, before we saw the strong trend bago kami nag-alarm. I mean, now we're saying it earlier because, you know, it won't hurt to be cautious if we improve our restrictions, if we improve our protocols, yung policies natin, especially for children, it would help, and we don't see a downside to this. So it's better to be proactive than to wait for cases to surge and bago tayo mag-action.
Thanks for clearing that, no? Because I wanted to go back to what happened in March when the cases began to rise. I was looking at my notes. Yun po nangyari sa Pasay. That happened about at least the first 2 cases. I thought it was end of January, but apparently it was sometime early Feb and mid-Feb, yung 2 cases sa Pasay. Binabalik ko po yun kasi dun, yun yung pwede nating balikan na template, if you would call it, kung medyo mabagal ang naging tugon and the policies back then, kaya po tumaas tayo ng, I don't know, a peak of what, 15,000, di ho ba? So now you're saying, yung nakita nung February nung unang linggo, nakikita na natin ngayon, kaya't magsalita na tayo, gumawa na tayo ng mga paraan. Siguro, maghigpit ulit tayo.
Yes, and we're not even calling for an ECQ right now kasi relatively lower paying cases. Although, I mean, decision naman yan ng government. But what we're just saying is, at least you know, maybe we could add some curfew hours. Yung mga children, pabalikin, wag muna natin palabasin. And then maybe we could add some restrictions. Maybe with some restrictions, with heightened restrictions, decision ng government. Yan. We could reduce capacities, establishments, because these are areas where the risk for Delta transmission is high.
Yeah.
So, and then yung siyempre yung mga social gatherings, hinto muna natin yung mga social gatherings at this time. We can just wait, and then if everything clears up after two weeks or so, then pwede na natin ibalik yung mga restrictions. This is just a temporary move to mitigate a possible surge. So inuunahan na natin, hindi na natin kailangan hintayin umabot tayo ng 1,000 cases because right now we're at 850. Next week, we could be at 1,000 plus cases if we're not doing anything about this. Sa NCR,
Professor,
1,000 plus.
Exactly. I was going to clear that up. The 1,000 cases that you're saying is Metro Manila NCR cases. Last week, 600. Now we are at 850. And sana naman, wag tayo umabot dun sa 1,000 cases. All right. OCTA Research Fellow Professor Guido David. Sir, as usual, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Thank you, Pinky. Good morning.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.